Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Ace, and I'm back with another reaction video. Here we go. Alright, the journey down into Queen's rabbit hole continues. This is song number 4 on Queen's 1974 album Sheer Heart Attack. This song is called Flick of the Wrist. So yeah, let's get into it and see what this is going to be about.
I'll have you see it double. Mesmerize you when he's tongue-tied, simply with those eyes. Synchronize your minds and see the beast within him rise. Don't look back, don't look back. It's a rip-off. Think of the risk. It's your dead, baby. Though I'm a kid.
Alright, let's pause for a minute. Alright, so I like how the opening starts with that brief guitar burst, obviously carried over from the previous song, followed closely by like that sparsely played piano melody. When the beat dropped, I really expected it to be more upbeat, but you know, this is interesting. Let's keep going.
Intoxicate your brain with what I'm saying. If not, you lie in deep trouble. To my bones, I scream with pain. I still make no impression. Seduce you with this money make machine, cross your lateral line. Big time money, money. Seduce you to a music make machine, let the last goodbye. Think of the risk. And your dead, baby. Think of the risk. You lead your heart out. Digging the ribs. And then I'm kicking the head. He's taking it all. Taking the leg. All this time, honey.
Alright, flick of the wrist. Let me get into what I think the song is about. So the song seems to be centered around a disgruntled worker airing out their grievances to a supervisor or a manager. I've seen a couple of Queen documentaries where they talk about how their initial contract was a bad one. So I'm thinking that the song is at least in part influenced or inspired by that. Ultimately, I think it's a song that's just basically about an authority figure who will destroy you if you don't do exactly as they say. The song is very heavy with the stealthy, almost glam rock-esque charm. The music during the verses is really moody and dense to reflect the oppressive sentiment of the lyrics. The bass and click-driven transition to that frenzied chorus underscores the narrator basically going bananas as a result. As usual, the song delivers with the guitar work. John comes through with that thriving bass line, particularly during the verses. Brian's electric guitar is ever present but packs the most punch during the song's midway point. Freddie's vocals come off as devilish, sounding like a lunatic to reflect the zany anger of the song. The harmonies during the verses are nice but a bit impulsive. They tended to intermittently pop up and randomly drop out, leaving they kind of left you wanting more. Usually Queen's harmonies have a more stable presence about them. Here they're a bit more sporadic, but I do like how the song abruptly ends with them, so I will give the song a letter grade of a B. Flick of the Wrist is a testy, menacing, virtually demonic rocker that seems to be directed at the powers that be with cunning lyrics that makes you want to follow along with the narrative. The hook is catchy and the impromptu tempo changes are cool. Structurally, it sounds like two songs in one, but keeps a pretty good movement during the sonic transitions. Again, the song has a lot of like aggression and cheekiness. The ominous bass line, drowning and squealing guitars, and Roger's belligerent drumming makes the song dramatic and cool. I can't say that I love it, but it's interesting and very catchy and ultimately makes its point. So the overall grade for everything is going to be a B. I definitely think that the song is iPod and playlist worthy, but how do you feel about it? How do you feel about Queen's Flick of the Wrist? Leave me some comments, like and subscribe, and in the meantime, we're going to move on to Lily of the Valley.
Baby, you've been had. I am forever searching high and low, but why does everybody tell me no? Neptune of the seas, an answer for me, please. The lily of the valley doesn't grow. I lie in wait with open eyes. I carry on through stormy skies. I follow every course, my kingdom for a horse. But each time I grow old, serpent of the night, relieve me for a while and cast me from your spell. Let me go. Messenger from seven seas has flown. There's a taking pride, he's lost his throne. Wars will never cease. Is the time enough for peace? For the lily of the valley doesn't grow.
Alright, Lily of the Valley. Let me get into what I think the song is about. So, this is another one where the meaning is a bit vague and a super short length that really doesn't allow for much forethought. From what I'm barely able to decipher, it seems to be about a feeling of like emotional detachment from the situation that he's in, and to cope he has to take like another fantastical trip back to Rye. So this is a quieter, slower Freddie song that has his personality all over it. The sharp guitar notes alongside Freddie's opening line was cool. My favorite bit was the emergence of the eccentric guitar towards the end. It merged perfectly with the piano and gave the song sort of the like this kind of a space age sounding close that was kind of moving. I could be wrong, but I think I also heard a faint bit of John's bass playing like intermittently as well. The vocals as usual are perfect. It concentrates more on that than the band as a whole, who for the most part are sedately placed in the background. Freddie's voice I think is really subtle and elegant while sparingly paced with the melody of the piano. His ascent to a vocal climax, hitting those upper head notes that are close to falsetto range, I think was really graceful, and I love the backing harmonies delivered with like this proper operatic cadence. So I would give the song a letter grade of a B+. The song feels like a throwback to the fantasy decor of the previous two albums. Structurally a Nevermore rehash with vague lyrical shades of Seven Seas of Rye, it's emotionally and exceptionally well executed. The angelic piano melody alongside Freddie's delivering a soft, delicate, and carefully conveyed vocal tempo is a pleasant reminder of just how broad his range is, especially after the more fiendish delivery of Flicker the Risk. That said, I really would have preferred that this one be further fleshed out. The short length, I think, makes it too much of a Nevermore replica, which I think does a disservice to it and what it could have been. So the overall grade for this would be a B+. I definitely think that this is iPod and playlist worthy, but what do you think? How do you feel about Queen's Lily of the Valley? Leave me some comments, like and subscribe, and until next time, peace.